All right. Welcome, welcome, guys. It is brand night, and tonight we have an incredible brand in our MDC marketplace. I think one of the staple brands, honestly. And this brand to me is the most impressive just because of the accolades. And the proof is in the pudding. You're going to see some incredible before and after photos. And I'm Dr. Dana McGrady. I'm excited for you guys to see and meet the VP of Sales. And right now, I'm just going to pass it over to JoJo Monroe. Jordan Monroe is a seven-figure income earner in network marketing and entrepreneur. She's a mama of two boys, a beautiful wife. Is building her business, working through the trenches of moving her family and raising these beautiful babies, and is truly an inspiration for all of us as she's all action, no excuses, all action. And she's going to be interviewing our brand representative tonight. So Jojo, let me send it over to you.
Hey, thank you, Dr. D. And thank you for the accolades. It's moving across country or moving into the loony bin. I take both as great calls to action, and any given day we will see which person and version of myself shows up. But tonight we are here with a focus and intention. And Leah, I'm so excited to have you on here. I had the pleasure, a lot of us did, of seeing you speak at our big event in Nashville, Tennessee. And I was blown away, not only by your background, and I think this is really cool to have been with the company for so long, and I'm going to ask you to share on that, but also your ability to break down these products and how they work and why they work. And I think by way of example, we should start with your background and the first product that has the most incredible instantaneous results that people will see for truly reversing the signs of aging on our face.
Absolutely. So my name is Leah Franks, and I've actually been the VP of Sales for Instantly Ageless, which I'll show you the little picture there, Instantly Ageless. It'll be 11 years in July, actually. So I was, like I told them a little bit earlier, I was in a beauty show and I had puffy eyes, and they sat me down and said, this will help. I'm like, didn't think so at all. Not at all. Sure enough, 2 minutes, it was gone. So I purchased from that day one, and then actually started working for the company 11 years ago. So I started the product in 2009. I've been working almost 11 years and with the company. And the product, it worked. It actually works 2 to 3 minutes, and it's instant gratification for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I want you to go into this, two things, because there is some science behind it and why it's producing those results. And at the end of this section, we're going to show you guys two pretty darn incredible before and afters. But I kind of want to start with a user error as well, once you go into the science, and you can come back, because there's a specific way people are going to want to use this to have best practices, best results. So kind of share the science behind it, and then we can go from there.
Sure. So actually, let me start with saying that Instantly Ageless has been featured on Good Morning America, The Doctor Show, Rachel Ray, and Inside Edition. We didn't ask them to do anything. We just all of a sudden were popping up everywhere. And actually, Inside Edition went to downtown New York, and it was just pulling people off the streets and saying, we want to see if this works. And it was pretty awesome. You'll see the results in 2 to 3 minutes. And so what is in the product that helps for our long-term purposes? So obviously it works in 2 to 3 minutes, and the results are going to last up to 8 to 10 hours. And some people can actually get longer than 8 to 10 hours. Personally, I can get longer than 8 to 10 hours, but it usually will last at least that long. It does have a peptide in it called arginine. And we all know that we lose collagen every single day. So arginine actually will produce the peptide. The peptide produces the collagen. So when you use it also every day, you're going to see residual effects, just not the instant, the 2 to 3 minutes and throughout the day. But when you use it daily, you're going to see residual. You're going to have less puffiness. Your pore, if you put it on your pores, it's going to be smaller. The wrinkles and the fine lines are going to be smaller over time as well.
That is amazing. And you guys, I want you to think of the under eye area. And as we all gracefully go through this aging process, things start to happen. And so, Leah, I was one of those people that saw skincare and said, more is better, more is better. If it says it's going to do this, more is better. and I put a whole heck of a lot of Instantly Ageless under my eyes, and I had like white caking. And so originally I was like, well, wait a minute, this doesn't work. But
Yeah.
no,
Yes.
the
So,
user error is a thing.
right, exactly. So each one of those, you have 25 vials, and this size vial, this little vial right here, will give you 3 to 4 uses out of each vial. So you're going to make sure, you want to make sure you put a water-based moisturizer on first, and we actually have one I can explain to you in a little bit about, but you want to make sure you do that first and make sure that the moisturizer will actually absorb into your skin. You're going to twist the top off just like this. Use a very small, like a little tiny pea size, and I'll try to hold it up. So do you see that little small amount? That will actually do both eyes. Then you're going to turn the cap back upside down and then recap it and make sure the air is capped tightly. That way you can get another 3 uses out of this one vial. And you're going to make sure that you're going to tap it on. You're not rubbing it in. You're tapping an even thin layer. You're leaving it about 10% moist or wet, and then you're remaining expressionless while it dries. So that means no smiling, no talking, no chewing while it's drying. And that just takes 2 to 3 minutes. Of course, after the drying, then you can obviously smile, talk, or chew. But if it just lays on your skin and it pulls the skin cells closer together. So if you're smiling, talking, or chewing, it's not going to work.
Oh, so I have to tell you, and oh, by the way, you guys, all of this is in the box and it says it on the product and on the website. I just got overzealous and didn't read any and do any homework, and did the opposite of what you said to do. So I appreciate the clarification. But what I really think is cool, which I didn't know and explain to people, is that is the quick result that people see. When you use the moisturizer and go into the moisturizer as well, you mentioned residual effects. So changing the structure of the face, the fine lines over time, with the moisturizer, because what's going on there?
Yeah, so actually, I'll show you a bit of the moisturizer. You can see this kind of shiny. Sorry, we have the Instantly Ageless Moisture Lift, which is actually in as well with MDC. So you're going to apply that first. That has double the peptide in it, so it's double the arginine in it. So you're going to apply that first before you apply the Instantly Ageless. And also after you wash your makeup off or wash Instantly Ageless off, you want to put it on again. So you're going to see, because of the peptides that are in the product, in the moisture lift and over time.
That is so cool. And so, okay, so I do know one other product that I actually am really obsessed with, because there are a lot of, how do we want to say this? Harsh exfoliants out there. And this grittiness seems like it could be harsh, but it actually is really subtle and really effective and shows incredible results when used the right way. So kind of share with people what that product is.
I don't know. I'm hoping I can, I'm sorry. I don't use Zoom a lot, but you can see that that's actually the Sands of Time, and that's part of the Instantly Ageless line as well. So it's a gentle exfoliator. So it has a little bit of the grit, like she said, it's not like a really gritty sandy. So it's very moisturizing to it, but also exfoliates at the same time. So you're going to use that as a gentle with warm soap in a circular motion. And then you're going to rinse it off with warm water. And then of course, always follow up with your moisture lift. And you would use that, I would say, in the wintertime, in winter months, twice a week. And then in summer times, just once a week. So that's going to help also get exfoliate all the dead skin off. Any harsh, any chemicals that you've come across, especially if you're swimming or sun, you're in the sun a lot. That's going to help that as well.
That's so awesome. And so when we look at the complete package, right? So we've gotten rid of the things that bother us instantly. We've created an environment to have healing over time that reverses the signs of aging. There's one other product category in the upper above neck region that you guys have that really does make an impactful difference. So if you could touch on those products for the hair, that would be amazing.
Sure. So it's also it's for the hair fiber. Instantly Ageless, it's hair in seconds, hair fibers. And so they're very, very ultra fine keratin. They're keratin plant-based fibers. And they come with a little, it looks like almost like a salt shaker on top, but we also have a applicator that helps direct us on one certain area. And what is good about this, it not just only helps for thinning hair, it helps too when you're women or even men, they get their hair colored and they need to wait an extra week or maybe 2 weeks and they're seeing some of the roots. So they can actually sprinkle that in the area and like this was actually medium blonde. So this is what I would use. And it would just sprinkle that in on the root area. And then you actually, we have a finishing spray that it just locks those fibers right in. And it does come in 10 shades. And this bottle will last you a very long time because the fibers are so ultra fine. And like I said, they're keratin plant-based, which means they're going to stick to your hair follicles and not your scalp.
And so this is really cool because I ended up buying some and trying it. I bought it for my husband, but he's too vain. I don't think he'll watch this recording, but he won't use it. So I said, well, shoot, I'm going to use it. And what I loved, Leah, and this is really cool, is I have long, thick hair, but there's separation up here that starts to happen when we age in our line, right?
Yeah.
So I started putting a little bit of it here up front just to cover a little bit of that separation. And it looks so natural. It doesn't rub off on my hats that I wear, like my nice brim hats. It doesn't come off when I'm out with the kids and they're touching my hair and everything else on my face. And so like the science behind that has got to be pretty darn incredible, why it's so natural, but also stays in place. Like that's really
it has a
incredible.
magnetic, so it's like a static almost, so it brings right to your hair follicles and not to your scalp. But also what it does too, not only you're going to help for that the thinning, it also gives your hair a little bit of volume too. So say you have a day where your hair is just kind of limp, you want to put a little bit of volume to it, you would just sprinkle a little bit of it in. It doesn't take much at all. And like I said, it comes in 10 different shades, so you can also, like a person that has some dark and then some lighter, you can put them, definitely blend them both in and be so natural. And then of course, like the spray, it just locks all those fibers in. They will actually stay in until you shampoo them out. So even on your pillow, you're not going to see hair fibers on your pillow at night.
That's so cool. And for ladies that use dry shampoo to have that same effect, maybe to get day 4 or 5 out of your hair styling, that has very harsh chemicals in the dry shampoo. So much so that if you lit a match, poof, it would light up because of the alcohols and things in there. This is not that way, correct?
That's absolutely correct, actually, because I ran out of my dry shampoo and never would have thought that would be so harsh on my hair. So I'm like, oh, it's all right. I have my medium blonde. I'm just going to sprinkle that in so it doesn't look, and it worked perfect. And so I haven't bought any dry shampoo since then. So it works great.
I'm telling you, Leah, because one of the biggest things that we do here is we show people how to swap where they shop and turn liabilities into assets. And that dry shampoo is not cheap, y'all. So get with the brand that can create not only the same result, but better results than you had with a product that you couldn't get at Marketplace, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Awesome. Well, and okay, so there's a couple questions, Leah, that came in, and I want to make sure we get to them. So we went over the Ageless. When someone gets a box of that, and you said 3 to 4 in each vial, how many vials are in a box?
Sure, there's 25 in each box, so that's going to last you a pretty long time. I'd say about 2 months time.
Wow, I mean, you guys, that's pretty amazing. And okay, there's another question that came in here. Love to use it as dry shampoo. Okay, the ladies are loving this for the dry shampoo, and having the benefit of thickening for thinning hair. Oh, here's a great one. How many boxes of Ageless have been sold? Like what, prior to coming to Marketplace, share with us kind of what
Sure, I'm sorry, I should have touched on it.
Ageless was doing.
Right. So we've had over 6 million boxes sold globally in 120 countries. And the company's been in business since 2008. So, I mean, most of those sales have been in the last, so probably since about 2015, when we started having all those, all of a sudden it started getting so noticeable in Sun Edition and Good Morning America and the Doctor Show, and Rachel Ray started featuring it. Of course, then sales just went crazy. So,
wow.
And they're still going crazy. So, because it does work. I mean, there's other products that say it does what ours does, but they're going to get a white residue, or they're not going to even get it to work, or, they can't get it applied correctly, or also makeup. So we probably should talk about makeup too, applying makeup to the women. So I actually have it on today too, but I have makeup on. So you can apply Instantly Ageless over top of makeup. And when you do so, you want to make sure you use less product, because then you're going to be able to see the product. And you also want to make sure you're tapping it on very thin and very lightly. So also, if you put it on underneath makeup, you want to make make sure you use a foundation brush to put your makeup on and lightly go over that area, because otherwise you're just going to kind of wipe it right off. And so, yeah, so, you know, it just lays on top of your skin, so you will not end up wiping that off. So just do a lightly with it, like a foundation brush. And then you can also blend it with loose powder. So that's how you would be able to use it with makeup.
Amazing. So cool. And, you know, we have a couple before and afters, and one of them, Dr. Dana, if you want to share your screen and pull up those two before and afters. And I have a couple more questions that are coming in, but I really want you guys to see these because I mean, the proof is in the pudding, the proof is in the padding, the proof, where are we putting the proof? But it really is by way of example. Daisy May, do you want me to share them or are you pulling them up?
You have them on your computer. You go ahead, girl. Otherwise,
Okay.
I'm going to have to just, while you do the next questions, I'll move them over to my computer.
Okay. If you, yeah, move them over to your computer. We'll keep everybody ready. But the question is, which would you recommend if there is a preference? And this came in from Lynette and she wanted to know, would you recommend doing it over or under the makeup? If there's like a,
Yeah, I actually prefer underneath the makeup. I put it on usually after you put on, always put your moisture lift on, and then you're going to put it on. And then I use just a little bit of the foundation on a foundation brush. And I have found too that if it doesn't look, you know, if it doesn't like as simple as blending, I will just take a little bit of the area off. So I actually take my glasses off. Sorry, I can't see it all underneath my. I'll take it off with a little bit of wet, like a wet wash rag, and then I'll just tap it back on and it just completely blends right in. You don't even have to put any makeup over top of it. So you still even have your makeup on, but if you take the area off that you put some makeup on and then put it, it will actually blend. So
amazing. That is
sorry.
just so very cool. And so, okay, Daisy May, are we ready to show these before and afters? Okay, sweet. So we've got two of them, and the first one you may recognize. Oh, wait, here we go. It's coming. Okay, just
you're gonna have to take your glasses off so
Oh,
they
yes.
really
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
because this is like a big deal.
this is
So
cute.
yeah, so this was Leah before she started using Instantly Ageless, and look at her now. And this was how many years ago, Leah?
That was in 2009.
Wow.
Yes.
So you can see, and they actually, the owners of the company actually stopped you when you were walking and said, we can, and a man said to you, we can help you with those bags. You weren't offended. You were like, you know what? I'll sit down. Yeah, I need to sit down anyways, but I don't believe you. And then he showed you. So that was kind of cool. And you've been using it, and that,
Every day since then, yes.
so wow.
And I actually use it over my whole face. So you can see, actually I only need actually underneath my eyes at the moment, I mean now, but I even used it around my cheek area where I had larger pores. It helps for that. It helps for also if you draw little lines here or any like in between here. So that actually I didn't have any, that was the first time I used it. The first one was applied to me, but then I used the vial, and I wouldn't use only a half of a vial for my whole face, just tapping it, just tapping it around when to help with shrinking the pores and the fine lines too.
That's huge.
And that's so cool because you can really see, you guys, the residual effects of the product over time. And then do you want to share your before and after Dr. Dana?
Absolutely. Okay, this was me. Okay, the product had just come in. The top was just woke up. I put it on. You know, obviously you can see a little bit of white because it was my very first time applying it, but I was blown away. This was after 45 seconds. I actually didn't even know the full effect of how it shrunk my bags under my eyes until I looked back at the photo. I just went into the window, got the straight light, and then Jenna Zweigel herself shared this on her Facebook. I put it in the leadership group and she shared it that day. And it was like, to me, like you don't even realize until you put them before and after. So I encourage all of you guys, if you're going to be sharing this with your customers, to take some before and afters.
So very cool. Well, thank you so very much. And here's the deal, you guys. Oh, here's another question, and we're going to wrap it up with this one. Do you recommend okay, what does it say? Correctly, the hair stays on until you wash it out. What if you go swimming? We've got summertime coming up for
Yes.
people that are using Instantly Ageless. Do you just reapply and with the hair stuff?
Sure. So obviously, it's all. I think Instantly just is made of 90% water. So of course, if you get it wet, it's not going to. It's the results aren't going to be as present as if you didn't have got water on. So also the hair, obviously, if you're say at a thunderstorm, obviously it's pounding. You can't have an umbrella. That's going to make some of the fibers to come out. Definitely will actually make the fibers if you're in water, swimming underneath the water, that kind of thing. But I mean, of course, if you're just kind of just wading in the water, you'll be fine.
Okay,
I definitely wear my Instantly just in the pool because I usually don't get wet up from here, from here up. So, but I mean,
so it won't work if we're doing synchronized swimming and deep
There you
diving,
go.
but if you are a leisure gal in the pool getting
Right.
some sun and doing a nice dip, then you'll be fine.
Yes.
Or
Absolutely.
guy, sorry, not to discriminate. Well, Leah, thank you so much. This is truly incredible. Everyone needs to hop on, get your brand bucks rockin' for the best price for all of the Instantly Ageless products. They really are game changers, not only from a product perspective, but as Dr. Dana said, from one who's sharing them to have instant testimonies, instant gratification, instant results for the people that you're sharing with. There really isn't much better than these products right here. So Leah, we appreciate you so much. And I'm going to pass this over to Kenny Rossi, who is going to bring it home for our incredible business highlight for this evening.
Thank you guys very
Oh,
much.
wow.